Hey everyone, Anthony here from MTG Alpha with another Deck Tech episode. I've chosen to make a deck around Yusri, Fortune's Flame, a legendary creature from Modern Horizons 2. Yusri is a 2/3 with flying that costs 1, a blue, and a red. Whenever Yusri, Fortune's Flame attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins. For each flip you win, draw a card. Whenever Yusri, Fortune's Flame attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins, and for each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, Yusri deals 2 damage to you. If you win 5 coin flips this way, you may cast spells from your hand this turn without paying their mana cost. What I like the most about Yusri is that it's your typical Izzet Spellslinger deck with a gambling twist. In this deck, I will go over some of the ways we can benefit from drawing cards, ways to negate damage dealt to us by Yusri, and how we're going to win. Since we're going to be drawing a ton of cards, we want to have ways to benefit us from doing so. Chasm Skulker is a 3 mana 1/1, and whenever you draw a card, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on Chasm Skulker. When it dies, you create X 1/1 blue squid tokens with Island Walk, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Chasm Skulker. Nadir Kraken is similar, except it is a 2/3, and whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1 colorless. Then you get to put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. Niv-Mizzet Parun and Niv-Mizzet the Firemine both deal 1 damage to any target for each card you draw. Niv-Mizzet Parun allows you to draw cards whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery, and Niv-Mizzet Firemine taps, allowing you to draw a card. Psychosis Crawler deals damage to your opponents for each card you draw, and can be a big threat on the board with its power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. Locust God is a 6 mana 4/4 with flying, and whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying and haste. You can pay 2, a blue and a red to draw a card, then discard a card. And when Locust God dies, you return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Toothy, Imaginary Friend, is a 4 mana 1/1 that costs 3 and a blue. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Toothy. When Toothy leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it. And finally, Ominous Seas is a 2 mana enchantment, and whenever you draw a card, put a 4 shadow counter on Ominous Seas. You can remove 8 4 shadow counters at any time to create an 8/8 Kraken creature token. You can double up on your card draw with Alhamret's Archive and Teferi's Ageless Insight, both of which allow you to draw 2 cards each time you draw a card. With both out on the battlefield, you draw 4 cards every time you draw a card. Alhamret's Archive also has an ability to double the amount of life you gain whenever you gain life. Whenever we lose a coin flip with Yusri's ability, 2 damage is dealt to us. We can negate that damage by giving our commander lifelink with Basilisk Collar and Shadow Spear. Then, when damage is dealt to our opponents, we gain life. With Alhamret's Archive out in the battlefield, we actually gain 2 life every time we lose a flip. So now there's no downside at all to Yusri's ability. You can also gain life with Venser's Journal, which at the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. And also, by having it out on the battlefield, prevents us from having to discard our cards down to 7 at the end of our turn. The same is true with Thought Vessel and Reliquary Tower, all of which give us no maximum hand size. If we choose to flip 5 coins and win each one of those coin flips, we can cast any spell in our hand for free. With the amount of cards we would be drawing, we would have a good selection of cards to cast. Krark's Thumb is a 2 mana artifact. If you would flip a coin, instead flip 2 coins and ignore 1. This greatly increases your chances of winning 5 coin flips, drawing 5 cards and then being able to cast any spell from our hand without paying their mana cost. This would essentially win us the game by allowing us to cast spells that will draw us cards until we draw into one of our win conditions. By drawing lots of cards, we're able to create big creatures, lots of tokens, and deal lots of damage to our opponents and any other target. Since we are drawing so many cards in a single turn, we are very likely to mill ourselves. Whenever a player goes to draw a card and can't, they lose the game. But with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, you would actually win the game by milling yourself, and you can also win the game with Laboratory Maniac, which has the same ability. Yusri's Fortune Flame is definitely a fun deck to play, and not only that, it's very powerful. You can check out the episode we did where we played Yusri, Fortune's Flame, and Throsta Tempest Roar in a 1v1 match. This deck seems to be very consistent in doing what it wants to do, thanks to the card advantage, and with plenty of counterspells and removal spells in this deck, you're basically covered in dealing with all threats. Let me know in the comments below what cards you would add to this deck. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to catch more future Deck Tech episodes. It's an easy way to support the channel and allows us to continue to make more content for you. And if you want to support the channel, you can find our Patreon link in the description, as well as our Discord link where you can catch up with us after each episode. In the description, you'll also be able to find a link to the deck list for this deck so you can check out all cards that we're running in the 99. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.